Hey, buddy. Well, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Been a little while since I made some videos. I just got around to posting some of the ones from last spring. But I'm going to try to get back into making some more videos. So I figured we probably better start with reintroducing the herd, since it has changed quite a bit. We made the switch to fully registered goats, so everybody we own here is registered. We just have Nigerian dwarf and mini Nubians now. But yeah, there are a lot of new faces in the herd. So, well, I guess we'll start with this guy. He's sold. He's not staying here. But this is Castiel. He was a buckling I got this summer that I was planning on using a lot for my breeding season. But I ended up having the opportunity to get this cute little guy. This is Major. He is going to be a star B buck once ADGA catches up. Right now his star is pending, but he's a pretty little silver boy. He has some really good lines that he can add into my herd. He's the one that's bred to about half of the girls this year, just because I want to see what kind of kids he'll throw. That, and he's super sweet, so I want that personality in the kids. But yeah, he's taking Castiel's place. Castiel is sold. He's supposed to get picked up next weekend, but yeah, he was one of the new additions. We still have Jed. Jed is our oldest buck in this group. I think he's only 2 or 3 now. But yeah, he's a fancy boy too. He's not quite as friendly. He's bred to the other half of the Nigerian girls. And then we have Mr. Fenris here. Fenris is a mini Nubian. He's a pretty boy too. Not quite as friendly as Mr. Major here, but not as skittish as Jed, who you can see doesn't like me at the moment. But yeah, these are our boys. So once Castiel gets picked up, we will have just 3. Depending on if I keep any kids from him, I may end up getting another mini boy, either swapping him out or having just both of them. It depends on what I can find this year. But yeah, these are our boys. This is filmed in the morning, so I have not filled their hay feeder or their water yet, so excuse those empty things. So for the girls, we have a lot of new faces in here. We'll start off with the one right here. This is Rin. She's a registered Nigerian dwarf. From the info sheet, you can see her pedigree and her traits. She's blue-eyed, moon-spotted. She has pretty decent lines. She is one of the new ones we got this summer. We got her in a group with a few other goats from the same farm. See if we can find all of those girls. One over here at this feeder is Yukio. She's from the same farm as Rin. Similar traits. She's got the blue eyes. She doesn't have the moon spots. But she does have really nice cabochon breeding in her. And then Bunny, which is this black and white one in the corner here. She is the full sister to Yukio, but from the year before. So same breeding. She also just has the blue eyes. No moon spots on her, but hopefully she'll have a really nice udder. This one right here, the black one, is Katana, also from the same farm. She is also blue-eyed and moon-spotted. She's got pretty good lines behind her as well. And lastly, from that same group, we have Yumi, which is this brown one right in the middle here. She has a dill sire, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what her udder will look like. Since these ones are all going to be first fresheners, they are kind of iffy on if they're going to stay or not. It'll depend on the udders. If anybody has a really poor udder, then they might get cut from the herd, but we are going to wait and see. All 5 of them are going to be first fresheners. Next up, since she's here, we'll go with Beretta. Beretta is straight from the Dills farm. She has really good lines behind her. She doesn't have a whole lot going on in the flash department. She did have like one little moon spot on her, but when her winter coat came in, it kind of disappeared. So I gotta wait and see next summer when she sheds out if that moon spot's still there or not. But yeah, Beretta is one of our new girls. She was too small to be bred this year. So she is not in the breeding lineup. We'll go with Sylvie next. She's a really pretty, like silver roan. She's not quite a true silver, because she has all that roaning in her, but we like to call her a silver. She doesn't have super impressive lines behind her, but she's so pretty. We just had to bring her home. She's super sweet too. She was a bottle baby. We have her twin sister Raina as well. They are from the same litter. Again, same lines, so nothing super impressive behind these two. And they don't have much in the way of flash. They have been paired with Major, so they have a little bit of better lines coming in that way, so it should help improve the kids. So since she moved over here in the same little group, we'll go with Hestia. Hestia is a mini Nubian. She came from the same farm as Raina and Sylvie and Major. We got them as a group. I know both of the breeders, so these guys are from Hag's mini farm, and Hestia and Major are from Blue Chrome. Those two breeders are friends, and we're friends with them as well, so we kind of buy in between each other. But yeah, Hestia is our newest mini Nubian. She was also too young and way too small to get bred this year, so she is not in the kidding lineup. And then, let's see, Miss Oaken is this mini Nubian here. She was the one we got before Hestia, so she was our other recent addition in the mini Nubian herd. She has really good lines behind her. She's got pretty blue eyes, the moon spots, but she has not come into heat, so she is not bred for this year. And then we have Miss Foxy, or Foxtrot. Foxtrot is still here from, obviously last year. I got her last February, I think. So she has good lines behind her. And we also have her daughter, Tango. Tango was born here last March, I believe. March or May, I'd have to look. But she is also still here. Both Foxy and her have moon spots, so they have a little bit of flash, along with their good lines behind them. And we'll just go down the line. So Miss Betty is next. Betty is a mini Nubian. You guys know her. She's one of the goats we've had the longest in the herd, so she's still here. And then we have Birdie. Birdie is another mini Nubian. She's been here a little while too, so you guys might remember her. I don't think I caught her kidding on camera last year. She had a single buckling who was gorgeous. But yeah, Birdie's still here. And then we have Miss Babs. Babs was brought in the same time as Birdie. They came in together, so they've been here the same amount of time. Babs is still here. She had the triplets last year. And then, since she scooted on over here, we'll go with Miss Coco. Coco originally came in when me and my friend over at Hilltop Kids bought out a herd. She took a few and I took a few. Coco was one that she took, and I kept her mom, Capricus. But Megan was thinning out her herd, and I had the opportunity to bring in Coco, so I did. But I have her as a replacement just in case her dam doesn't settle. This is her dam, Capricus, and she is our oldest girl in the herd. She is turning 7 in June. She's kind of sassy at the moment, but she has been bred 6 times this year. She just keeps going into heat. It's possible that she is settled and she's just having hormonal issues. But we're not quite sure. I don't know if she is settled or not. We'll find out if she doesn't kid by the last due date. I'll be keeping a close eye on her, watching for udders and any kind of sign that she is going to kid for me. But if she ends up not settling this year, I may rehome her, and I have Coco as her replacement. But Capricus does have pretty good lines, so I kind of want to keep her in the herd if she can kid for me. She does need a little help in the body structure department. She has a really steep rump, and she just needs a little correction for the kids. Coco looks pretty good compared to Capricus. She's a lot more level on top, not as steep in the rump. So Capricus was bred to Major all of those times, and he has really good structure. So hopefully he can help improve on her kids if she settles and stays settled. So she's a mystery one we're going to have to keep an eye on. And then we have Miss Yona here. Yona doesn't have a whole lot going on in terms of pedigree. She doesn't have stellar lines behind her, but she is a pretty girl. She is polled and blue-eyed. I kind of like to have a mix in terms of pedigree and goat quality. So like Yona and Sylvie and Raina don't have much going on in the pedigree, so their kids can be on the cheaper side. which helps me supply kids for people that just want pets or 4-H or they're on a budget. And then like the higher quality girls with better pedigrees like Tango and Foxy, I can have kids for people that want more in terms of show goats or like heavy producing dairy goats. I like to have a mix so I can kind of have kids for everybody. But I think that pretty much covers all the does that we have out here. They are pretty much hanging out in the barn full time at the moment because we are in the middle of winter. The door is open. They can go out if they want to, but they would prefer to just eat hay, get fat, and grow babies. So they're having a good time in here. The boys are out and about, it looks like. Yep, they're a little feisty. I still have to go throw them some hay, so that's probably why they're outside. We do have one more new addition that is currently in the house. She is a bottle baby. I will put in a clip of her. This little chocolate buckskin here is our newest girl. She is about a month old now. She'll be a month old tomorrow. She's blue-eyed, she's moon-spotted. These little spots on her head are where she was disbudded. Her mom has a really good udder. So hopefully she'll follow suit and have a good udder as well. Her name is Dixie, but we're just calling her Dixie for short. We also have her twin sister, Sally. Sally's not ours, we aren't keeping her. My friend Megan over at Hilltop Kids, she bought her, but we're keeping them together for now since they're both on the bottle. I'm just feeding both of them and they get to stay together, at least until we have more kids. Then by the time they're weaned, they'll be split up and have kids their size to bond with. But yeah, for now, they're just hanging out in my basement being bottle babies. But otherwise, yeah, that is the current herd. Like I mentioned, some of these first fresheners might get cut from the herd depending on how they kid and what their udders look like. But hopefully they all do well and have really nice udders so we can keep them in the herd. The new bottle baby is pretty much a replacement just in case any of these first fresheners are not going to work out as milkers. The next video I do is most likely going to be the breeding lineup, so I'll tell you who's bred to who and when they're due, so you guys can watch out for your favorite goat. We should have 15 does kidding, I believe, as long as they all stay settled. I think the furthest along is Rin, and she's about 2 months in. Everybody else is a month to 2 months along. So they still are early enough to resorb the pregnancies. But hopefully everybody stays settled. Like I said, that should be 15 does kidding in the spring. The first ones are due mid-April, and I think we're kidding into the first part of June. So a little bit of a long kidding season and a little bit later in the year. We did breed like a month later just because I was out of state a lot. That's also the reason I wasn't doing a whole lot of filming, because I just wasn't here. I'm going to hopefully record some of the kiddings this spring, but I'm also probably going to have a helper here, and it's still kind of weird to record when other people are around, but we'll see how that works out. But yeah, hopefully we'll get some kiddings recorded for you. Otherwise, I'll just give you updates when the girls have had them already. But yeah, that's the herd. Hopefully I can be a little more consistent with the videos this year, but we'll see. If I get busy, half the time I can't edit them, so we'll see how it goes.